No, so now guys, in Yoruba land we say motishele ton owaku baba eni to ma wá mú mi. So loosely translated it means I have done this, so now I await who is going to come and question me as to why I did it. Comet the hour, comet the man. As guys, I bring you this. Akeredolu orders recitation of Oduduwa Anthem in schools. So Akeredolu, again, of course, we know his history, especially his most recent antecedents. This is the guy, of course, that drove the Fulanis out of Ondo state, especially. And it was the guy, of course, that kick-started this whole now Fulani out of Yoruba land movement that we're now ensconced in. So again, now he's made another now pioneering move as he now orders, again, Akeredolu orders recitation of Oduduwa Anthem in schools. So now let's now see now how the Ondo state governor presses his advantage. The Ondo state government has made it compulsory for all to recite the Oduduwa Anthem in their schools. The order reportedly affects all the private and public institutions from primary to tertiary level in the state. This was contained in a circular sent to all stakeholders from the State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. The circular was signed by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Akin Asaniyan. The circular was titled Recitation of Oduduwa Anthem in All Schools. It reads in part, please note that at the just concluded inter-school debate and award ceremony organized by the Ondo State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, held on Thursday, February the 25th, 2021, at the International Cultural and Event Center, the Dome, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu announced that the state had adopted the Oduduwa Anthem and it is to be recited by the residents of the state. In light of this development, Mr. Governor has directed that the anthem is now compulsory in all public and private schools, primary and secondary, as well as tertiary institutions in the state, to be recited by all students and teachers henceforth. So that is now the position now coming out of Ondo State. So motishele ton owaku baba eni to ma wá mú mi is effectively what Akeredolu is saying now. Akeredolu, by the way, I have to double check to actually see what party he belongs to. Yes, he does actually belong to the APC or Progressive Congress. So I had to check, of course, because his movement thing bought a party member movement, the way this guy is maneuvering. But then, of course, it gets to that point where each individual governor within his own state has to make that decision that is it there to serve the interest of his people, one, is it there to serve the interest of the Fulanis, two, or is it there to just feather his own nest, loot as much as he can, and just walk away? So those are the three options now available, especially to the southern governors. Make no mistake about that, because the position of the north is very clear within the Nigerian space. They are intent on colonizing the southern region. So if you, as the governor, you are purporting to be the foremost citizen of your state, then how you then play out that role is left to your own decision making and your conscience and what actually drives you in life. So if you are for the money and you are a bit feeble and you're a bit cowardly, then you can just cower to the Malamis and do as you're told. We see a lot of that in the East with people like Opozo Dema, etc. We see a little bit of that manifestation in Oyo State as well, my own home state in Oyo State as well, with Makinde now bending over. I'm going to do a separate video coming shortly on that Shasha market incident. You will not believe that 7 Yoruba people have actually been arraigned in court for that Shasha incident, an incident, of course, that was sparked off by a Fulani man, a Hausa Fulani man, ending the life of a Yoruba man. So no Hausa Fulani is in court, but 7 Yorubas are in the court, the state court in Oyo State. So that just then tells you all you need to know about Makinde. But then conversely, of course, Akeredolu takes a different tack. So now he's now insisting that every school within that space has to recite the Oduduwa anthem. I did not even know that we had an Oduduwa anthem, so I shall jolly well go look that up, and that might well be my intro to videos for the foreseeable, but it might not, because of course I don't want to limit myself to just an Oduduwa narrative. But nevertheless, this is now a man taking a very strong and a very assertive and a very clear position. So this is now strike 2 for Akeredolu as far as I am concerned, because of course we saw the 7-day ultimatum that he gave to Fulanis to get out of the forest reserves rather of Ondo State, which is really coded words to say get out of my state, really, which is effectively the understanding of what he said. And then to double down on that, to assert now that this is Yoruba land, he's now insisting that all the schools within his region have to recite the Oduduwa anthem. But then, of course, all the schools in Ondo State are not necessarily state schools. So you have private schools, and then, of course, for the private schools to operate within Ondo State, they have to be licensed by Ondo State. So this rule and new policy, really, this new position of the state is binding on the private schools as well. And of course, the state-owned schools, this rule, of course, binds them too. But then, of course, you have federal institutions in Ondo State as well. So how binding then is this now new policy position on those federal schools is the thing that should be interesting in this whole mix. But overall, it's something that especially delights me. I don't like to voice too strong an opinion in most videos, but in this particular instance, I hold my hands up and say I am in complete agreement with this guy. Not especially because I am an Oduduwa nationalist, which I am, by the way. I am an Oduduwa nationalist, but not in this instance essentially because I am an Oduduwa nationalist, but really this is a move being made by Akeredolu to assert his authority within his own space and to give that clear signal that this is Yoruba land and the Yoruba way will hold sway. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. Governor Akeredolu has given them a slap again, so he slapped them across the face, and as they are making noise, the hand as on his way back swiped the other cheek of the face as well. So now 2 slaps now across the face of Malam Buhari is how I am reading this. But what will be the response from Aso Rock is the question. Come share thoughts about all this with me in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done the clickings, Governor Akeredolu has chosen his own mast. He's chosen the position that is going to stand, and he's raised up his flag now to say, here I stand. So do you stand with Akeredolu or not is the question. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say